SMG4 Mario, the main mean guy we all know and love, who's shockingly more broken than other people think he is. Mario's actually capable of doing some good feats, and just like in my original videos on this, I know that Mario was capable of being universal level after going into the sun and destroying it, which then corrupted the entire verse. But since I lowballed that scan, have I actually scaled the full power of that ability here? Or since it managed to affect other games and realms in the SMG4 universe, while being just like another universe in the verse, would make it at least universal to multiversal level, but there's more context in the episode. Although in the episode shown on screen, it's outright stated that the verse contains a space-time continuum, with the space-time continuum being a mathematical model that fuses the 3 dimensions of space and the 1 dimension of time into a single 4-dimensional continuum, and as the scan states itself, this would be 4-dimensional. And since the sun can affect all of this, it would scale to this level. Although you can get this even higher, that part would only be an argument, so I'd say let's move on. In the episode Time Freeze, Mario was just chilling with a clock, and after punching it multiple times, he managed to break the entire pin, up in time itself. And then Mario and Bowser were the only people actually capable of moving. This alone would grant Mario and Bowser at this point immeasurable speed, if not infinite speed at least. I always talk about some of the main feats I plan on talking about. Why don't we get into some broken feats in the verse? It's consistently shown how in episodes the entire cast has played many Nintendo games, including Super Smash Bros. Brawl and Super Mario 64 consistently, with the Mario Cosmology at the time actually still getting pretty big, even though we can't include things like Mario Splatter Galaxy getting into Hyperversal. It's shown in the guide for Super Mario 64. It's stated that Big Boo's Haunt is an extra-dimensional realm, which can easily scale around 5th dimensional or possibly far higher due to a couple fins, which for the sake of this video, we'll say that it's a 5D realm. Since the cast managed to scale conceptually higher than the entire Mario 64 verse, viewing it as a fictional realm, this would be around Hyperversal or higher, which in fact, I might just explain the difference between a dimensional R over F and a conceptual R over F. A dimensional reality over fiction transcendence is something that exists dimensionally higher than the thing it's viewing as fiction. For example, the God's element in the verse that I created views the verse as a 2-dimensional disc, so it would exist dimensionally higher than the verse. Meanwhile, for a conceptual reality over fiction transcendence is something that exists conceptually higher than the thing it's viewing as fiction. For example, if I'm playing a video game on a TV screen, I'm existing infinitely higher than the video game. Mario was shown multiple times being able to go outside of the show and exist in the game files, or knock fins into the game files along with SMG4, with the files existing conceptually higher than the verse itself, as no normal person can access it normally. The reason this is conceptually higher is, one, it wouldn't really make sense if normal beings can access this plane of existence, as characters like Luigi can't access it. Meanwhile, Mario and SMG4 was the only people capable of this feat. And two, it's pretty much treated as a universe that's on a higher plane of existence than the SMG4 verse itself, such as the Great Beyond and the others. Or to where this scales, due to getting the verse to Hyperversal from earlier, and this exists conceptually higher than that, it would be at least high Hyperversal. In an early video that SMG4 made and confirmed the existence of is the old blooper videos that came even before the 2011 episode, with it having Kevin and Luke finding glitches whilst playing Super Mario Sunshine, meaning you can actually include the Great Beyond for scaling the verse. So I think there's a private video of the SMG4 being pranked in the Great Beyond. If I find out, put it on screen, and this along with the narrator and the viewers actually being shown, so you can include them with scale. And although I'm not finished with SMG4 scaling, why don't we scale from here? Well, the SMG4 verse will be Hyperversal, the files conceptually higher than this, making it high Hyperversal, the Great Beyond transcends this, making it Outerversal, the narrator is beyond this, making it high Outerversal, and finally the viewers are beyond this, making it exactly boundless. Although sadly I don't think Mario scales exactly to this cosmology at this time, so we can't scale Mario to boundless, or can we? If we go back a little bit, back to the Mario reaching the files part, This would be beyond the space-time continuum that's in the SMG4 verse, and since a higher being views it as fictional, which entails an aura of transcendence, viewing a space-time continuum as fictional would include its dimensions, height, length, depth, and time, and the higher being is supposed to have 5-dimensional qualities from the said transcendence, height, length, depth, time, and the 5th dimension. How do you hold dimensional traits that you are supposedly externally superior to? You would lack depth, length, and height because you are superior to it to a conceptual extent, and in terms of which an infinite dimensional space would even have depth, length, and height. Viewing those dimensions as fictional would include all those dimensions. So with this in mind, you could actually get SMG4 Mario in the 2011 era, who's above this to Hyperversal. In a couple episodes, the cast has shown having Pokémon such as Arceus and even Pokémon's defenses shown within the SMG4 verse itself. In the episode Darkness Takes Over, due to Pokémon's events being shown in the verse, it's very likely that the full verse exists in the Cosmology, which can easily get the verse to Hyperversal due to it containing Arceus, who is stated to be a transcendental god who exists above the verse and can know this and even create the godly trio, with the godly trio including Giratina, who stated to lack the concepts of space and time. Due to Giratina lacking the concepts of time and space, and Arceus transcends this would make him scale to Hyperversal bare minimum, and Mario can casually own him like a pet and even defeat Giratina easily. This will also give Mario a relevant speed, due to being faster than these characters who can move at a relevant speed. Because he can transcend to the game songs which only him and SMG4 were capable of, he'd be on an insanely high level of relevant speed, and now the cast outside of those two with a relevant speed can access as well. Not to mention SMG4 is quite literally the exact same being as Luke himself, so meaning that only someone who views the entire verse as fiction can access this realm outside of Mario. You can argue that he scales to Luke himself in existence and stuff like that, which can possibly scale Mario so high out of the boundless. Also, if we go back to that Super Mario 64 scanner to add on to that, there's also SM64 event shown within the verse itself, and there's even a part in that same episode where they view Pac-Man games as fictional, and also remembers the old bloopers, so arguing that it isn't canonical to the other ones, which is a stupid argument, by the way, which would simply be debunked by that scan. And to think this is only 2011 SMG4 Mario was absolutely insane, as characters such as SMG3 from after 2011 would literally body every character from the period or point in time combined. Also, not to mention the new arguments we have on the first, such as the Great Beyond and stuff, with Mario being able to one-shot the viewers and do his entire cosmology of SMG4 as fictional. Mario also has immortality types 1, 8, and possibly 9 due to him being able to rip his soul out of his body and his future self living longer than 10,000 years. He has explosive manipulation, fight hacks, cloning hacks, toon force, can break the fourth wall, manipulate probability and possibilities, can manipulate superpowers, and even have absolute superpower negation. He's capable of manipulating the plot, so even if you're destined to win, this meme warlord will come out on top. Now, SMG4 Mario in 2011 should scale from high out of the boundless with a relevant speed. Thank you for watching this video. You can drop a like and subscribe if you want, so I can do more videos into the future. And tell me, who do you think can beat the meme lord SMG4 Mario? And I better not hear any SML characters lol.